Start record. Whenever fever comes, what we do? Maybe try to take some tablets. If it is bigger, we'll try to visit hospitals. It happens to many people. Some people don't go to hospital at all. They'll try to suppress. Finally, when it become bigger, then they try to go it. In this process, sometimes, that challenge maybe in the home, that challenge at body can be aggravated also. But by following simple techniques, we can get out of many challenges. This is Blissful Brahmam. Hello, friends. Welcome to my session on the how I overcome the fever. Actually, earlier, whenever I used to get fever, it will be mild, maximum 3 days. So by simple techniques, I used to overcome. But this time, it becomes severe. So I thought of taking the opportunity to share my experience on this challenge. 3rd of this August, after I got up, become severe fever, shivering, headache also, very sickness I felt it. Then what all I did, I used it, and why did I use it? I can share it. Then morning, I was wondering how come I got fever. Then previous day, I little bit drenched it. Generally, what happens is whenever we drench it a little bit, especially head drench it, we may get cold cough fever after a few days or immediately also. But actually, what generally we do in the daytime means, or if you drench it, immediately we take the hot water bath. But it was night actually, night 9 p.m. Went out of home for a small thing, little bit drenched it. Then that I could not do hot water bath. Morning, even though fever is there, I remembered, okay, better I should able to do hot water bath. I somehow forcefully I did hot water bath. I thought it will go off, but it didn't help me. Then I started morning fever guard syrup. Actually, IMC fever guard syrup is there and tablets also there. So whenever I use it to get fever, I take the syrup before food, after food tablet. And I continue the same thing for 3 days, 3 times in a day. I started taking the fever guard syrup. Then after food, actually what food I take is actually only nutrition shake and idli. Because, whenever we have got fever, that stomach actually should not add so much. If it is added, that will aggregate it. So for that purpose, generally, even if you go to hospitals also, people take bread with milk or idli only. Because of the reason is, the stomach actually, some challenge will be there because of that fever comes. So we should have very light food and it's easy to digestible. So for that purpose, I took taking the shake also. That too, 3 times I took the shake, nutrition shake 3 times. And after that, lunchtime, after shake is over, I went out and had idli. Idli, not chutney also, because chutney will be cold, right? We should take hot one. So idli sambar I took. That's what I think. But before that, actually, probiotics also will help for the digestion purpose. So I start, along with the Herbalife Nutrition afresh, I take the simply probiotics. Because probiotics will help the getting the gut improvement, immunity improve it, and will bad bacteria will be thrown out by sending the good bacteria. That is a bacteria. Apart from that, after morning, before breakfast, I take afresh with probiotics. Then I took the nutrition shake. In the nutrition shake, I added fiber also. Then supplements, I took multivitamins and omega-3 fats. After shake is over, after 30 minutes, I took some hot water. I added the Sri Tulsi also into that. After another half an hour, I actually, I remember, yeah, Pure God tablet also I took, and body pains were there. I took body pains, pain away tablet also from IMC. But actually, this is since organic Ayurveda is not really directly attacking that pain. It is trying to identify the root cause of the challenges and try to slowly remove it. So it will not get immediate relief, but it can help over the period of time. Then after that, after with Citrus I took, because Sri Tulsi is like a antibacterial, antiviral, many things are there. And one more thing is 250 ml warm water. I took Sri Tulsi and Sri Haldi also. Haldi actually antiviral especially. So after taking the Sri Tulsi and Sri Haldi, I could find a little bit better. So this I continued almost 3 times in a day. Like only pain away tablet I took only 2 times. A fever guard tablet 3 times. Fever guard syrup 3 times. And afresh with the Sri Tulsi almost 2 to 3 times. Afresh with probiotics 2 times. First I continued, but afternoon actually I felt it more. Then I went. I wanted to go to hospital, but somehow I thought, when I go to hospital, what happens? They this test, and this Bengaluru weather was actually cold cough environment. So they say this is there, that's it there. But so I thought, let me wait for another day. If that day is not coming down, I thought I'll go to hospital. But by next day morning, I could see improvement. Then I continued almost similar process. I could able to get better and better. And third day, a fever comes to cold and cough. Fever has come down, cold and cough were there. Then whenever I could deep breathe in, I used to get dry cough was there. Then immediately I started doing the steam. Apart from all the things continued, I started the steam inhaling also. I could see improvement when I started inhaling it. But during this process, I stopped the current actually. So I am feeling a little bit body heat. And then I started after 3-4 days, started excess heat removal of this black pepper treatment. Within 5 days, slowly I could able to overcome the fever with simple techniques. After the 5th day, all right, maybe a little bit cold was there, but completely I could able to get out of it. And whenever the body, first day, whenever body heat was there, I put a little bit wet cloth over the body, but I could not check the temperature because of very low energy. I could not do that one. And in fact, I went first day when after during lunchtime, I went out for idli vada. That time, I wanted to go to Meenakshi Mall to check my temperature. Then entrance, they check one temperature. If temperature is more, don't get into mall. I thought of going, but it was raining. I could not go. But it was even though severe, but since it was coming down, I could not check the temperature. This way, very high fever, I could able to get out of it the nutrition, IMC Ayurveda things, and simple naturopathy techniques. Thank you, friends, for giving me opportunity.
Thank you very much. I think
Brahmanji, I have a question.
Yes, madam.
Can I ask?
Please go ahead, madam.
Brahmanji, when do you take this probiotics? Before eating or after eating? How many times a day? What is the quantity? What is it?
Simply, actually, Herbalife Nutrition give the simply probiotics sachets. That's what I do. That one I'll mix it along with afresh. Before food, I take it. So if it is empty stomach, means that probiotics will go to the gut and it may help, madam. That's what I think. But
So
sometimes
should you take it half an hour before, or how before should you take it?
with empty stomach, maybe at least 15-20 minutes before, if you are able to add the probiotics to the gut immunity can be helpful, I think.
Okay.
Maybe let us listen from Madhuri Ruia, madam. She is already open discussion now, already 7:32. Madam, I took more. Now you can take over the session and clear about probiotics also and things like that, madam. I will spotlight you. Yes, you spot.
No, that's okay. Let's just have a regular thing.
Yes, madam.
What was the discussion? What was the discussion about probiotics?
Yes, madam. Actually, I came out of the fever with few simple techniques. And Dr. Sarika, madam, would like to know about how the probiotics can be consumed to improve the gut health and immunity.
Right, right.
Please, you can go ahead with open discussion. And madam, since you are the co-host, you can start recording also, madam. You are now. I'm making you a host actually. You can
Ah,
start recording local desktop also for your session, madam.
okay, okay.
YouTube live is going on.
Yeah, record to this computer.
Okay,
Yeah,
madam.
so I think continuing with the discussion, can you all hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yes.
About probiotics. See, the thing is that all the healthy bacteria are already there in our system. So we need to do two things. One is to have foods that contain probiotics like yogurt. Yogurt is wonderful. Ghar mein banaya hua dahi especially. And you need to, I mean, if you were there in my fiber discussion, we identified that fiber is the food for the probiotics. So you don't have to go on ingesting too many probiotics separately from supplements because the body doesn't recognize supplements as well as it does ghar ka khana. So when you have, I know typically when I was a youngster, I mean, when I used to go to Ankola, which is near Goa, where my family's home was, we used to end every meal with dahi chawal. And rice is also a prebiotic. That means rice makes the new healthy bacteria, and dahi has probiotics. So dahi actually feeds on the prebiotics that rice has got. So we have gone through this whole era of eating where we say rice is bad, this is bad. All natural food is really has an inbuilt balance in it. We just have to respect that inbuilt balance. And I think our forefathers knew so much intuitively about food. We just have to go back to that. So they say after having a bout of antibiotics, going back to dahi chawal and the homemade pickle in mustard oil. Once a year, one would make that pickle. In every household, there would be that pickle making time, which we have totally forgotten now because everything we buy off the shelf, where the pickle is marinated and, kept for months on end till it becomes mature. That is all prebiotic bacteria. That is what preserves the pickle for the whole year, if you think of it, right? The pickle doesn't get spoiled. Even you don't have to put it in the fridge because it's got natural produce in it. So the way out of, if you have to ever have any antibiotics, which we will always have to have now and again, is to go on a dahi chawal functions. And ideally the dahi should be from the house itself. So I think that is, how does that answer any of your questions? Yes? Okay. I can't hear you, Satya, sir.
Yes, it answers. Yeah.
I think you touched upon two things, prebiotic and postbiotic and antibiotic. Can you just
explain
a little more about it?
We have a natural microbiome which has got trillions of cells
in the body. Yeah.
Now, the way the body works is a recycling mechanism. So the food that you eat will contain prebiotics, which is the fiber.
Okay.
The fiber in the vegetables. That's why we say have a lot of vegetables. That fiber is the food for the existing probiotic bacteria in your body. So that you don't have to keep on taking in more and more bacteria from outside. Because then the balance will get distorted and suddenly anything can go out of whack. So if you follow the balance, so morning walks improve your prebiotic bacteria to be, your probiotic bacteria to be able to take in prebiotic bacteria. When you take morning walk, when you have oxygen, when you exercise also, that microbiome health improves. When you eat a lot of vegetables, you are feeding the existing good bacteria in your body. And as a result of that, the bad bacteria are not in more higher proportion to the good bacteria. It's all about proportions, because E. coli, which is there in our body all the time, suddenly can become too much and infect the whole body when an imbalance is created. So a lot of the pills that you get, the probiotic pills, are not, the body can only absorb 50% of the probiotics. So of pills, of supplements. So the thing is that if you have a diet system that goes on feeding your good bacteria, and you also take in good bacteria in the form of yogurt and fermented foods like pickle, and in Chinese, when you go to a Chinese restaurant, in the beginning they have that kimchi.
Yeah, even sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut is wonderful.
Yeah.
If you practice to take just 3 servings of fermented foods in a day, your entire gut health is improved. That is a research. There's a research done that we need to include fermented foods, which our ancestors were doing in the first place. We have stopped doing it now because we have, we've got too much of this processed food. If you look at processed food, it doesn't have fiber, it doesn't have prebiotic bacteria, probiotic bacteria, nothing. But in fact, it becomes the food for the unhealthy bacteria to proliferate. Other way around. That's why that food should be completely eliminated. Yeah. So it's actually really simple. I mean, I used to have quite a few supplements in the early stages of my career, and I was always uncomfortable in the gut. Now, as I've gone back to more traditional eating forms, roti, sabzi, dal, chawal. Now your dal, sambar that you have, sambar has got a lot of prebiotic bacteria. The dal has got it. And the vegetables have got the food for that prebiotic bacteria. So, the combination is amazing. So having sambar with lots of vegetables, a little portion of rice, and some yogurt is a beautiful meal with a little bit of pickle. Yeah.
This was the traditional food.
Traditional food tradition is really, for all cultures, one is finding that traditional food patterns which have been evolved over time, seasonality, basis the kind of people there are, has been amazing. Yeah. And that helps you to fight any infection, any virus, any bacteria, anything that's coming our way, you can fight that. Okay, so any other question? What other? This is open house for all your questions.
Yeah. So now that we've discussed about food, can I just deviate a little bit?
Sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to know the importance of that lux meter, that is the light. What effect does it have on the body?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. I know that we have covered. Yeah, we had covered this in the.
Yeah, you had covered it and I wasn't there. I think I missed the session.
Sure. And any number of times we do that, it will not be enough. It's that powerful. So lux is the unit of, light and luminosity, brightness. That is the energy. Lux is that energy. It's how many candles burn in a certain small square footage. Exactly, I don't know what that is, but in a small square, the number of candles that burn is like a lux, 1 lux. But so when you have lux is really the power of photon energy. So if I say the lux in my room, for example, I have a bright light here. I'm looking pretty bright here, but if I take the lux, it will just be 200-300 lux. 200-300 lux. But if I go outside to the seaside, like Sagarika, ma'am, you are always walking on the seaside, which is a wonderful thing. The lux over there, it goes into lakhs. So it means that 1 lakh candles are burning in that same small square footage. The power, that is the luminosity, that is the brilliance of that light. And this whole universe is run by photon energy. Photosynthesis, you remember photosynthesis from school?
Yeah.
So we also, the whole universe is sensitive to light. The body's internal organs respond to how much brilliance is there in front of them. So if there is much more light, it means that you are going to do a lot more things and you are going to be more, the metabolic activity is going to be much more. If there is
urja, what they call is urja, right? Urja in Hindi. Urja.
Yes, yeah. Urja, that is energy, huh? But if for instance, it is going in dim light, you're supposed to sleep and the metabolism is supposed to rest. So what we do in our daily life is that even in the daytime, we are sitting we feel that the room is brightly lit, but it is not, So the way this whole thing pans out is your circadian rhythm. The circadian clock is 24 hours, right? So the moment you wake up, you need to give your body a bright light, luminosity, brilliance signal from outdoors. Because when the light from the sunlight is dispersed in the atmosphere, the lux is much higher. When it is limited, it is much less.
Right.
Yeah. So when
And nowadays, most of us, we are living in artificial light.
and I feel that artificial light has been a big cause of our metabolic syndrome.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And it is also, slowly and steadily it gets you into depression. It's a result
Absolutely.
for depression, slow and steady, because these
Yeah.
artificial lights. And nowadays, any office space, all office space,
Yes,
they
yes.
have no windows. They have all air conditions, and they are all with artificial light.
Right. So this is a very bad combination, because air condition dehydrate the whole body. Then you get
Yes.
dry eye and all much faster.
Yeah.
And if you don't get natural light, then the body is thinking that, you need to be in rested mode. Let us not work the organ, let us not work the metabolism, because something is wrong. The body is tuned for us to be outdoors, farming, hunting, gathering in the morning till 12 noon, when it's so bright that you have to go and rest. So let me just rephrase this for you. So when you go out in the morning, morning walk, 10 minutes outdoors, before you start your day, what happens is that you get into a good mood, like you said. The photon energy, the light, the eyes take in the light, and there is this, on the roof of the mouth, there is the master clock of the body, the master metabolic clock. So that from the eyes, it activates this master metabolic clock, which is there on the roof of our mouth. And that master metabolic clock then tells all the cells in the body, 300 trillion cells, that this is the time of the day that person is awake. And now from this time that this metabolic, that you've got this first rays of photon energy, after about 14 to 16 hours, you will naturally wind down to go to sleep. That's the body's system. So if you wake up, let's say at 12:31, this whole system goes for a toss. So that is why, that Brahma Murta, all those things, they have a place, and this is one of the reasons. So according to new science, within 1 hour of waking, when the sun is at low solar angle, not directly over your head, the lux that you get outdoors from that kind of sunlight activates healthy stress levels in your body, so that you become much more productive through this wonderful system of taking the photons in through the eyes. Then it activates the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is there on the roof of the mouth. And from there, it tells all the clocks in every single one of the 300 trillion cells to get alert and active. Here's Blissful Brahman, who has to take on the day. Here's Sagarika Bhatia, take on the day. Here's Satya, who has to take on the day. That is what happens without worrying. So now let's take another scenario. You just lie down in bed all the time when the sun is out and everything, and you say, oh, you get into the what is called the do or dread mode. Will I be able to do something, or is it going to be a dreadful day for me? So you get into do or dread mode. You keep worrying. That also raises your stress level, but that is not beneficial for health. That is the one that causes that, chinta, what we call about chinta, chitta ke saman hota hai. That is that part. So if you want to bypass all of that and still go on with your day, then this is the way to dip into nature's system. So 2 things to note is, when it's just 10 minutes. You don't need more than that. So the days you're busy, just go out for 10 minutes. I tell my clients, even go for 5 minutes, because in India, like in Bombay, we have 1 lakh lux. Even if I take that for 3 minutes, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. So that will raise my cortisol levels in a natural way. And from the time that I see sunlight first thing in the morning, after 50, between 12 to 14 hours, I'll start winding down. The sleep will come to me naturally. Feeling sleepy will come naturally, because the body is tuned for that. After it sees morning sunlight, it will only work for 15 hours, 16 hours. I mean, that is very individual. So by the time the time the light starts settling, You feel naturally sleepy. There's a natural release of melatonin, the sleep hormone, the hormone that helps you transit to deep sleep. You don't get into deep sleep immediately. You have to transit to deep sleep. So that is how that works. So that becomes that circadian rhythm of 24 hours. That is how the 24 hours is maintained. So then after that, 8 hours, you are in deep sleep where you completely restore yourself. The brain shrinks to 1/3 its size. The organs shrink to 1/3 its size when you are in deep sleep. If you're not, and then 100% healing happens really fast, including memory, building on your memory, whatever learning you have done, all that happens. So you have to keep on, focusing on the simple systems that nature has created. And we say, na, systems work and people fail. So if you follow those systems, you really also regulate your liver, your blood sugar, your blood pressure, and automatically you will not need to be so restrictive on your diet. Eat ghar ka khana without deep frying, in as natural a way as possible. Be reasonably active and you will be fine. It is totally doable then.
Okay, so now another thing, I see many people on the beach while we walk, they expose the, like if they're wearing a t-shirt, they'll pick up the t-shirt and they expose the navel to the sun, to this lux, So now, I mean...
not necessary, because
they say that the light, the energy goes through the navel to all the parts of the body.
No, it goes from the eyes, because
Okay.
eye is the external part of your brain.
Okay.
And the skin, if you expose it too much to the sun, see, that's the other thing. Nature has so many restrictions. If you expose your skin too much to the sun, that sunburn is not good. It means that before the sunburn happens, you need to stop staring at the sun. So that means you need to do it in short bursts. So morning 30 minutes at low solar angle, when it is right on top at 12 o'clock, not to really do too much outdoor work, but you can sit outdoor in a shade. And in the evening also around sunset, they say, I mean, if you want to go all the way, you will go out and you will see that the lux, maybe you can start posting sunset evening luxes also on this group. You will see that the lux where it was 1,000 has become 1 lakh has become 1,000 outdoors. It's a sign to wind down. Everything is winding down at that time, including us. We should be also winding down for the most part. Now, see, even if you do this 5 days a week, it's fine. So you want to have a Saturday chill with your family, go out, sleep late. 1 or 2 days doesn't matter, because the body works on maximum averages. That 80-20 rule works in reverse. 80% of the time, if you take care of everything, 20% cheating is taken care of. So you still have your easy time. You need that easy time to do the things that this era has given us. Saturday, Sunday, movie, chill with friends. You need all that to completely de-stress from all the time this phone work that we are doing. So that is how it, the body really works. And just getting into that circadian rhythm. Yeah. Brahmam sir has a question of how to clean it from chemicals and fertilizer impact. Yeah, this, you have to take, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is some people use potassium permanganate, but that color and all, I'm not comfortable with it. But you take one portion of vinegar and 10 times that water. So 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 10 tablespoons of water, to 1 liter of water, sorry. And you just soak all the vegetables in that. And that will remove the chemicals and some of the toxins that are there on the outside.
Yeah, not only that, even gobi, the worms come out from the gobi, from the cauliflower.
Yes. Yeah.
You can see it floating on the water, on that vinegar water.
Exactly. So you've been using that. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been using that all the time. Yeah. Even out of the bangan, if the bangan has a hole and you put it in vinegar water, immediately you see these worms coming out.
So vinegar it's simple acetic acid. Now it takes out everything. In fact, you can even like we are all into fitness. We change our clothes a lot of time, my whole family. So we put vinegar in the washing machine to get rid of any fungi and all that may develop on the clothes in the wash. We'll do that as well. Okay.
So
So,
I had one more question. Sorry, if you have
please go ahead.
carry
Please go. Today is question time for everybody. Huh?
Okay. Now they say ashgod. Ashgod is very healthy and fiber early in the morning when you have it. So
Ashgod is what dudi, na?
no. Ashgod is not dudhi. Ashgod is it's white. It's like dudhi, but it's not dudhi.
White
It's
pumpkin,
more
white
round.
pumpkin,
It's
madam.
more
White
fat.
pumpkin.
Huh,
White pumpkin, you know.
Okay,
So that
okay.
ashgod soup now they say, some say strain it and have it, some say have it like this. I mean, what is your take
It
on it?
doesn't matter. It's up to you. See, I think ashgod, if the fiber will be so light because it's soluble fiber, I think you can easily keep it. See, the problem with having a large soup first thing in the morning, a vegetable, if you're an energetic person, that will fill up your stomach. So you may not be able to have other food that you need for energy. Like if you're going to have oat upma or poha or with vegetables, you may stop yourself from eating that, and that is going to give you the energy to sustain your mind function, because glucose is required for the brain every second. You will need that in the first part of your day. So you have to really see how you want to do that. I would say instead of making a soup first thing in the morning, I would say ki wo ashgod ko kaat ke, you put it in your poha and your upma and have it, because whole food as a principle is always better than.
Right.
Because see, when you chew also, see, when you have to chew your food at least in the first part of the day, when you're fully alert and active, because chewing is the first step to good microbiome health. And why do I say that? I say that because when you chew and you think about your food, you secrete saliva. Maximum saliva secretion is required. In fact, one of the questions that I ask my clients is, do you have adequate saliva secretion? So when you're going to have liquid food, that saliva is not secreted. And that saliva triggers all the other subsequent digestive functions in the body. So then it will trigger the gastrin to come out, to be released in the stomach. Because see, the body doesn't release its chemicals instantly. It has one life, so it will preserve whatever it has to release only when you really want it, it will release it. So if you chew your food adequately, you release saliva, then you chew your food and ruminate, not ruminate, sorry, eat it gently, without thinking about too much stress. That is when the food gets digested. So if I have a quick meal or a quick smoothie first thing in the morning, then my whole digestive system is sleeping. So the time to have, these kind of smoothies and simple food is in the evening when you're starting to wind down and when the digestive system is also wanting to rest. That is the time you want to stress it.
Right. Sounds good.
That's
okay. Now adding to the saliva bit, nowadays this younger generation, what is it like? How you rightly said that we need to look at the food to salivate. These kids are looking at the mobile phone. So while eating, these kids are all looking at the mobile phone,
I know my daughter
as a result of which they don't salivate, as a result of which their digestion is weak, as a result of which their health is bad.
You hit the nail on the head, because without good digestion, you're not comfortable, the microbiome is not well fed, and it is so simple to do. So what I do is I made it mandatory मेरे daughters को गाजर काकड़ी हर मील के साथ खाना चाहिए, कि वो automatically उसको chewing करना ही पड़ेगा raw. गाजर को lot of raw गाजर को chew करो, that will give at least some respite from that. And the fiber in gajar is highly prebiotic. So
for us in our academy, for players, one bowl of salad for all of us is a must, because it's plant protein. The academy believes in plant protein and not animal protein.
That's fine. It's not protein, it will be plant. Plants don't have that much protein. They have fiber and they have antioxidants. So that's what they have.
They add soya. No, they add soya granules to that.
That's different. That's soya granules. Again, those are processed, no?
Processed, yeah.
Body will not take it as well. Better to put tofu in there.
Okay. Yeah, tofu also. Yeah, I see them with pieces of tofu.
Don't go. The granules are dehydrated. They will not have half the value of what you really. Tofu is a good idea. Or the soybean itself. Soybean ko bhiga ke dal do na.
Acha, okay.
Soybean ko bhigao like a rajma. It is very tasty, creamy. Usko
So you can cook soya bean like this normal?
Yes.
Like a rajma?
Yeah. You have a mix na. You take soya bean, rajma, chana, thoda ek mix karke rakho 5 or 6 of them. So that you cook it and you can just cook it and keep it and throw it into your salad on a daily basis a little bit. When you do that, little gas bhi nahi hoga, wo bhi prebiotic oligosaccharides they've got on the coating, the skins. That is a prebiotic bacteria producing.
So you mean to say it should be parboiled?
No, fully. This has to be 100% soft cooked.
Okay.
And what you have to do is you actually, those of you who feel gas with beans, you have to put it in hot water and throw the hot water out 2-3 times. The gas is only in the outer coating, the outer skin.
Yeah, so that's what we do in the night when we soak these. In the morning, we remove it. You can see those bubbles of gas. You can see those bubbles.
You just throw that and you have
the
to
bubbles. You see the whitish, you know.
You have to fully pressure cook it, mash, soft.
Okay.
Then there will be no problem. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
You can try hummus also. No,
hummus also. I was just going to tell you. Yeah, hummus also we can try.
Soya bean ka aap hummus bana lo.
Right.
In fact, when I was in England years ago for Food for the Brain, there was this waterfall diet. There's a lady who, again, fully plant-based diet. I forget her name now. She had this waterfall diet where she would have brown rice with a bunch of different types of hummus all the time and a big bowl of salad leaves and, microgreens and all that. Very lovely food, and top it with olive oil. So that's like a Mediterranean, Pan-Asian thing, but you can do that for your plant protein. Yeah. And there's also, the soya ka alag forms, but have natural. I would not recommend this.
Soya chunks.
No. I would not. If you want, you want to analyze soya chunks as a, would you like to do that?
Why not?
Let me share screen. 1 second. How much time have we got? I wanted to tell you all about a wonderful strolling study also that I just read, and I'm sharing that with all my clients. It's become so easy to be fit,
Maybe you could share what you want to share. We could do soya next time.
No, now that we are thinking of it, I'll just go through the, how much time? Oh, we've already gone 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Acha. Okay. Theek hai, so then we'll continue this soya chunks and other conversation next time. Because I think everybody's busy now. It was really nice, Sagarika ma'am, all your questions. I want each and every one of you to have questions. It's your body, your health. Hello, people. Can't be only spectators, na? Sabko kuch na kuch, whatever is the question, we must have it, because that way we will all, let's keep this session as an open session, rather than my giving all the time some information. So I'll just end up to think about, that start taking, after every meal, you take 5 to 7 minute strolls after every meal. Simple stroll, not to sit down. That's the challenge, okay? You do that this week, and next week I'll tell you the science behind it. Right? Whenever you eat, you can't sit immediately, sleep. After you eat, for the first 10 to 15 minutes, you either stand or you take a gentle stroll or go outdoors a little bit, or anything, and let us know what you're doing, and I'll give you the science next week. Yeah? Done?
Sure.
Perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, so let's get cracking on our health, and I'm sure then we'll get even more cracking on our wealth. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Have a lovely week. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. Have a great morning.
Stop the YouTube live, then you can end the session, madam.
Okay.
You're in Colaba, is it?
Yes, I'm in Colaba.
Okay, but if I happen to come to Colaba, I'll see you.
Definitely, we must catch up. We must.
Yeah.
Okay, all the best, everyone.
Thank you.
Madam,
Yeah.
you can stop the YouTube live, madam. You can stop the YouTube live.
How do I do that?
Click on the phone
Satya
and
ji?
stop YouTube live.
Yes, Agriculture.
Satyaji, on Thursday, I will take a session.
Thursday. Okay.
1 minute manager
Yeah,
continuation.
sure.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madhuri
I
ma'am,
think
Have a
Madhuri,
nice day, everyone.
even if you close the window, it will automatically stop.